The Towson University Tiger football team took on the 7th-ranked team in the nation last week, and it was a doozy. The Tiger Football Report starts now.
For an athlete, there's nothing scarier than a torn ACL.
Athletes trust us with their care and their careers because we're a recognized leader in sports medicine.
Get back to your active life sooner with MedStar Sports Medicine.
Wise Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and it's locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, and chocolate-covered pretzel. How can you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Welcome, Tiger fans, to another edition of the Tiger Football Report. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas, along with head coach Rob Ambrose. And coach, the Tigers traveled down to Elon, North Carolina. The Phoenix ranked 7th in the nation, and for about 3 quarters and 2 minutes, they looked like the number 7 team in the nation as they were beating you 27-10. What they didn't figure is that over the next 12 minutes, you would outscore them and get it to overtime where it was 27-27. What a performance by your ball club not to give up, and I know you've got to be proud of every one of those guys.
Oh, of course, but I think it's a little overrated. They own the third quarter. I'm going to give them that, but we own the first. And we drove right down the field in both first 2 possessions and scored, and I think they all went, uh-oh, who are these guys? And that's kind of how this has been progressing. And go back to the week before, drive right down the field, and it doesn't matter how good these vaunted defenses are. Our guys are growing up into this game plan and into this scheme, and they're learning how to be successful. Now, when you're down 17 to the number, 7 team in the country at their place, yeah, supposedly all hope is lost. But it speaks to the character of the kids that we've recruited that play in this program. It speaks to the coaches in this program and what kind of response we had as a family. And while we came up on the short end of the stick and it drives me up a wall, and like you've heard me say before, I probably hate losing more than I like winning. To see that change, to watch this growth, it is. It's something to be proud of, and it's something they should be proud of. And they're hanging their heads. They're hurt. And that's the way it's supposed to be. I told him this on Sunday. I said, if you're not hurt, you're not a ball player. You're not. It doesn't matter what it is. Because if you're not hurt, you're not invested. You don't care. And if it hurts, then you care. And I had some hurt guys. They're going to dust themselves off, and we're going to figure it out again.
Ryan Stover had a great ball game, threw for over 300 yards. Jabari Greenwood came back with a vengeance this week, 130 yards catching the football. And Kobe Young, the freshman running back, almost got his first 100-yard game rushing, and he looked tremendous at running back.
He really did. We're doing a good job putting these guys in decent positions for them to be successful, but we're still, we did a good job throwing the ball. We did a good job protecting Ryan for the most part. He did a good job with the ball in space. We had two wideouts that had over 100 yards receiving. But where on offense, where we are short is that must get it 1 yard. And it's a little bit of personnel, it's a little bit of scheme, and it's something that we definitely have to have an answer for. Because to be honest, if we'd had that bullet in our gun, this conversation might be a little different today, and somebody might not be ranked as high.
Yeah, you had 4th and 1 at the 16-yard line in the second overtime, and I'm watching you on the sidelines trying to get an indication of whether you're going to go for it or not.
You know what I want to do.
I know you want to go for it, but just the way that you told the field goal unit to come on, it was kind of like, boy, I really hate to do this, but go.
And it's weighing the options and the percentages, and you know me, like I'm going to play the percentages a lot, and some of the percentages people don't quite understand in analytics are in your favor, that you go for it more times than you should, and that's why people think I'm nuts, but really mathematically it bears weight. But you also have to take into consideration who you're playing and who you're playing with. And at that point in the game, if we don't get that first down, game's over. Game's over. And that's not how I wanted to give us a chance to be able to play football to win the game and not lose it all on one play. So this is a conversation that we're talking about already, to make sure that we put ourselves in a position always, no matter where we are, who we got, to have a must-get-it 1-yard deal.
In this ball game, defensively, your defense came up very big in the fourth quarter. I said on the air, DeAndre Wallace must have slept like a baby on Saturday night, because that kid was all over the football field on Saturday.
It's great. We did it. We played a very good offense, but we played them well in streaks. We played them great. Pet peeve of mine for the last 4 years has been third down, and I think they were under 23% on third down for the game, and for a team that's number 7 in the country, that's pretty impressive. But we didn't tackle well in space, especially in the run game. And there were a couple critical moments where we needed to be a little more sound, just a hair more sound. It really wasn't that big of a difference. It was a very small difference. But as you see in the end of the game, the difference between winning and losing is a very, very small difference.
Certainly is. The Tigers will go back at it this Saturday when they take on William & Mary. Join us later on in the week when Coach Ambrose and I will talk about the game against the Tribes. So that'll do it for this edition of the Tiger Football Report. For head coach Rob Ambrose, I'm Spiro Morekas. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.